Yo, what's up, wrestling fans? Welcome to another edition of Wrestling with Tragedy with myself, the Kingpin, Kevin Rodriguez, Pierce Austin. This is episode 23, if I'm correct?
Mm-hmm.
Man, we are steamrolling. We are just, I'm just so shocked how fast we have gone. But hey, today is going to be a great show. Today we're going to talk about some, is it pass or trash? We're going to make this fun. So, but before we get started, let's just get a shout out to our sponsors. I'll let either Pierce or Kevin do it because they do a great job. I kind of stutter and ramble.
Head over to A-Rock Designs on Facebook and check them out. They make custom cups, hoodies, keychains, T-shirts, you name it. They make it. They are known for their wrestling cups and tumblers, like this CM Punk cup that they made for me and sent it out. That company is run by Ashley Rodriguez, and she does amazing work. Head over to A-Rock Designs on Facebook. Check him out. They do a great product for a reasonable price, and it's fantastic. I'm really happy with what I got. Next is championship belts.
We're gonna lose a sponsor.
We are. We've got to be careful. But seriously, guys, every wrestling fan either owns a championship belt or wants to own a championship belt. Am I right? Guys, if you want to get your first championship belt, whether it be a custom belt or a replica of your favorite championship belt, head over to WhatsApp Championship Belts and speak to either Kevin or myself, and we will set you up with a fantastic deal for a fantastic belt. We also have special payment plans that are in place where you can pay as little as $20 to $30 a paycheck until that bad boy belt is paid off and in your hands. But guys, back over to you, Kingpin.
No, I really, to be honest, I really want to let you guys do the King of the Streets belt. I really want to see what that guy can do and make it happen. So that's going to be my first belt. I want to see if the King of the Streets did have a title, what would it look like?
The garbage can.
Be a garbage can, two big lips, some scars on the forehead.
So, guys, we've over the last 2 weeks, and even going back further than that, but the last 2 weeks specifically, we covered sex allegation, we've covered suicide, we've covered death, and it's really gotten to you can only cover that stuff so many times before it really starts to weigh on you and weigh on our audience. So what we really wanted to do was we wanted to come together and do more of a fun show that's going to allow that banter back and forth that Angel really seems to enjoy, and really just hang out and speak from the fans' perspective. Would you guys agree?
Absolutely. I concur.
Absolutely.
So we came up with a concept that we think you guys are really going to like. Angel has some ideas, Pierce has some ideas, and I have some ideas, and we're going to play a game called Trash or Pass. What we're going to do is, now this isn't just limited to WWE. This is WWE, TNA, Impact, Ring of Honor, AEW, CZW, really doesn't matter. But any storylines that you think might have been trash, or maybe you give it a pass. So trash or pass. If you say pass, that means it's good to go. If you say trash, that means they should have scrapped it from the start. So with that being said, we're going to get into some really cool stuff. So who wants to start with what they think would be a trash or pass scenario?
Gobbledygooker.
Trash.
Dude, I loved it. It was one of the Guerreros.
Yeah, but still, it was a shitty concept. But
I like when the eyes moved. When he fucking head shaking, the eyeballs moved. Gobble, 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 gobble.
The egg breaking was it for me, though. Seriously, I was like, what the fuck?
No, it was the countdown to the egg breaking was the shit.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Like, wrestling is supposed to suspend disbelief. How the fuck is anyone going to suspend disbelief looking at that?
No, but seriously, I got a good one. This is in the 90s. The Turtles.
Oh, my God.
Trash.
I'm bringing up trash stuff because it just keeps popping in my head. I saw a match with the Ninja Turtles. I was like, holy crap. That shit was garbage. But you think it was really trash? Who was under the hood of those two characters?
I have no idea. But I get what they were trying to do. I mean, they were doing what WWE's been proven to do time and time again, and that is capitalize on what was hot, capitalize on what was relevant, what was in the media, and it was the Ninja Turtles movie. So I get it, but it's like Piers said, when wrestling is nothing more than a suspension of your disbelief, how much of your disbelief can you suspend to think that there are Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles wrestling in the WWE? Absolute 100% trash.
Horse shit. Dude, absolutely no. But one of the things that sticks out for me was, remember in 1997 when the Montreal Screwjob happened at Survivor Series? Bret Hart goes over to WCW. So that is a big acquisition for WCW. Would you say that, Kev, at the time?
Yes.
And off a very hot story where fans were starting to become a little more smartened up to the business, correct?
Mm-hmm.
So how they debuted Bret Hart is to introduce him as a special referee for a fucking gimmick match.
Trash.
I completely agree. Angel?
I was too busy looking for the Toxic Turtle.
see, with Bret Hart, and I'm glad that's where you decided to start with Bret Hart. Keep in mind, ladies and gentlemen, we are coming off the heels of the screw job, the biggest thing to happen in pro wrestling at this time, if not to this day. It's still talked about when you think about the biggest, tragedies in wrestling, the screw jobs, whatever you want to call them. It's always right up there. The top 500 most shocking moments. It's been on that list since it's happened. So you have this guy, and when you bring him into WCW, you could have easily played the storyline. I came over here because nobody can beat me over there. They had to rig it. They had to fix it. They had to do this. They had to do that. So now I'm over here to see who can beat me here. They could have easily shot him to the moon and back, and they put him as a referee.
Exactly. And they
didn't even work it right. He could have went in there and been like, I'm going to show you what a referee's supposed to do. They didn't even work it right.
Like work the angle. But
they were trying to make chicken salad out of chicken shit, and it just didn't work. It was trash.
But that's the thing, Kev. Like, the match was, I think Eric Bischoff was going up against, who was the person? I can't remember who he was going up against. And it was like Bischoff thought he was going to be a part of the NWO, and I reckon you could have teased it, brought Bret in, but the thing is as well, like, would you, like, as mate going, I don't know, like, you either bring him in straight away as NWO as a heel, or you bring him in as a babyface going, no, I'm standing behind him, and then do a screw job for that other, you know what I mean? Like, then Bischoff gets the win, he joins NWO, then he becomes this ultimate heel. Then you essentially then turning Hart into the bad guy and essentially taking that storyline or what happened and putting it into storyline. And who knows if that was actually planned and Bret turned around and said, no, I don't want to do that. But, the way that they brought him in, the current world champion that just got fucked over the WWF championship, and you bring him in as special referee, bullshit.
Could not get behind it. 100% absolute trash. Now, the one thing I want to bring up, I'm going outside of WWE. A lot of my opinions are going to travel outside of WWE because I want to go with, not really unpopular things, but something that people might not expect. The TNA King of the Mountain match. So, for people who don't know, the King of the Mountain match is basically a reverse ladder match. You start out with the belt on the ground. Like, it's not actually on the ground. It's over at, like, the commentator table or whatever. You have 6 people in the match. Now, in this ladder match, pinfall and submissions do happen. If you are pinned or submitted at any point in this match, you must go spend time in the penalty box. I think it's like 2 minutes. It's like 2 minutes in the penalty box. So if you pin somebody or get someone to tap out, they go in the penalty box. Ideally, if you pin all 5 people within a 2-minute span, you're the only person left. And then what you have to do is at some point in this match, the way you win is you grab the title, you climb the ladder, and you hang the title. You don't retrieve it, you hang it. Based off of that match, do you guys think that match was trash or pass?
They had some entertaining moments with it.
I think it could have done a little bit better with the concept.
Yeah, like I think it was too busy of a match.
Too congested. Confusing.
Exactly. And the thing is as well, what's the best sight after a ladder match?
The person at the ladder holding the belt.
They've ripped the belt down, they're holding it up. If you already have that belt in your hand and you're taking it up there, okay, great. You're the person up there that hung the belt. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that now what? You take the belt back down and you pose with it? You just had the fucking belt in your hand. You know what I mean? The ladder match should be like you grasping for that belt, bringing it down, and be like, fuck yeah, I was the one to beat all these other people to get that belt.
I think if you take one of these concepts out, the match is way better. Either take out the penalty box and make them hang the belt, or leave the penalty box and still make them retrieve the belt. I think if you remove one of those concepts, it's a lot better. I just think this match was way too busy, way too congested. I think it was built on a good foundation. It was good on being original. It was an innovative idea, but at the same time, you got to know when enough is enough. And it's just like they were trying to pack everything they could into this one match. And for that reason, I'm going to say this match is trash.
Okay. I got a good one. What do you think of the New York Rules WC Nitro match? No ref, no rules. The wrestler had to count his own pin. This was in 2000. No referee. The wrestler you had to count your 1, 2, 3.
So you can essentially do your own fast count.
Basically.
Essentially, like you just sit there and just go 1, 2, 3, done.
Yeah, the match will have legitimately no rules. There will be no referee. The wrestler themselves will count their own pin and basically determine a winner. And that was in Thunder, WCW Thunder.
I'm gonna go out on a limb here and say that was never the concept for a world title match. Did we ever see a New York Rules world title match?
No.
Exactly,
it was with
my point.
I think it was with the New Blood against the Millionaires Club during that time feud.
Yeah, right.
So again, I never saw it. I just heard about it.
I don't know, man. I'd have to say that's a fucking bullshit concept because you fucking need a ref to count the 3. What are you gonna do? Like, imagine if they have a New York Rules for any sort of championship, or even it doesn't need to be a championship.
It's an impartial third party who has nothing to gain from either person going over or taking the loss, which is why you need a referee. And if you are not going to, if you make a match, like at least the King of the Mountain match was for the world title. If you make a match and you're like, there's no way I would defend this or have my world title defended in this match, why are you even making it?
Yeah, exactly. To make you do gimmick matches to get people interested, to do something for ratings. You know, that's the biggest thing, especially WCW. WCW did a lot of shit for ratings. But since we're on WCW, let me ask you this, guys. What about the 3 stages of hell match in WCW? The 3 cage fucking thing that they did, which was in the movie Ready to Rumble, and they actually used it for a couple of matches.
Wasn't that Thunderdome back in the days with Kevin Sullivan, the Road Warriors, and it was like the rings were stacked up on top of each other? If I remember, I was a kid when they.
No, they did that in near the end of WCW when they had the movie Ready to Rumble in, I think, 2000, 2001. They had basically one Hell in a Cell pretty much on the bottom. Then they had another smaller cage.
Yeah, that was the original.
Weapon, but you'd have to go through the 3 cage, and then the top cage would have like guitars and weapons and shit like that.
That came from during that time with the Road Warriors. I mean, and that was an old concept from back in the days, because I remember that when I was in school. And my boy was putting it over, and then I saw it, and I'm like, huh. You know, they had to go through the cage, like a drop cage to the next cage down. You know?
Yeah, no, this one they had to go up. So I think I'm pretty sure I remember the one you're telling me. Yeah, they had to go. Well, they have to go down. But anyway, guys, what do you think of the triple cage match in WCW matches, or the concept of it?
Well, I thought it was a drizzling shit. I didn't like it. I like you say it's trash. Booyah.
I feel like we're just shitting on everything. We got to get a pass. So,
well, dude, you know what? I was actually going to give it a pass. I think it was a pretty cool concept. I think it was it was potentially a green light for me. I just think that they booked it poorly, and they could have made it a little bit more. I think for the timing as well, where Extreme Wrestling was heavy, they could have made it a little bit more violent and put in, I wouldn't have included David Arquette in the finish of one of those matches. Put it that way.
I will go ahead and put my opinion on now. Go piggybacking off of what you said, just tweaking it a little bit, and I'm going to give my opinion on this match before I even say what it is. It's going to be a pass for me. The Punjabi prison match.
Mm-hmm.
Almost the same concept. But, so for those of you who don't know, there's 2 cages made completely of bamboo. One is on the actual ring and one is around the ring. You have to escape both cages. Now, on the inside, on the cage that's in the ring, you have 4 doors that you can escape from. Each door can only be opened one time, and they are open for, 30 seconds or a minute? But that's how long they were open. Once that door opened and shut, it could never be opened again. So you had 4 opportunities to escape through a door. After all doors were shut and locked, you had to go over the cage. And then once you got out of that cage, you had to escape another cage. I thought it was a very cool concept. I thought it was poorly executed, but overall, I give the idea a pass. What did you guys think of the Punjabi prison match?
No, to be honest, I didn't think the ring was that stable. I mean, the cage was stable enough because I remember somebody, I think was it Batista that
jumped from one cage to the other to beat the Great Khali.
Yeah, and it was kind of like, it kind of wobbled a little bit because it was not like a sturdy enough. I mean, I liked it. I think that I'll give it a pass because, I mean, I liked it. I just think it could have been added more. There was an element missing. That's all it was. But I didn't say it was bad.
Like maybe if like in between the bamboo cage that was on the ring and then the one that was on the outside, like if there were tables or some chairs or something like that, and I would have made it a rule that you couldn't jump from cage to cage. You had to have some kind of brawl on the outside because if you don't interact in that second cage, why is it even there?
Yeah. Well, True. You know what? I'd give it a pass. I think very cool concept, very cool idea. It hasn't been overdone as well, so I think that WWE.
I think there's only been 3.
Yeah, but the thing is, WWE improved their structures, their gimmicks over time. I think if they can make it a bit more sturdier, and making the doors have to be, I don't know, like having them open then closed. I don't know. I'd rather see the guys go over the cages as opposed, what I mean? Like you got to climb over to escape than actually go through a door. Like make it even more kind of like escaping a jungle. You've got, or escaping being trapped in a jungle in a cage. But yeah, I definitely see that it's a pass for me.
So I want to go to, I've got 2 other topics that I really want to cover. And I believe I'm going to get some heat on this one. Broken Matt Hardy.
I never liked it.
Trash.
Really? I'm going to give it a pass. I fucking loved it, bro. I love Broken Matt, not Woken Matt. Broken Matt was fucking brilliant, dude. He showed his real, because, dude, I was always a Hardy boy.
I think Woken Matt was better than Broken Matt.
No way, dude. No way. Like Matt Hardy, I was always a Hardy fan, but I just thought, yeah, they're kind of generic. They can't really cut good promos, but they're good in the ring. And then when he became Broken, I was like, ooh,
okay,
shit.
So let me ask you this. How many times did Woken Matt Hardy grab onto a drone and teleport to a different country?
He didn't.
How many times did Broken Matt do it?
Oh, a few times, but that's the thing. It just made it more ridiculous. But again, I see your point of view. As wrestling is to help us out, buy into the reality of a simulated fight. But I saw it from an entertainment standpoint, not from a wrestling standpoint. I was looking at it more as this was fucking hilarious, just because he was so spaced out.
So go to a movie.
Wonderful.
So go to the movies.
True. Okay. Moving on.
How about the Katie Vick angle with Triple H?
Trash. It was trash. It was motherfucking trash.
My buddy bought that mannequin to let you know.
I really don't want to know what he does with it.
He takes it. He owns the company. He owns the company called WrestleCrap, and
Of course he does.
and he goes to conventions and he displays it just like how it was on WWE. Gets paid $500 a pop to display it in whatever table he has for WrestleCrap, but he gets paid like 500 or something to display it. So he doesn't do anything, but he collects a lot of like crazy memorabilia from wrestlings because WrestleCrap is a popular website for all the fucked up wrestling gimmicks.
So this is one that I believe me and Piers are going to get into it about. And one that I think a lot of our viewers are going to get into it about. So we are playing Trash or Pass, and we are talking about all the gimmicks in pro wrestling. And I am going to go ahead and throw this out there. Orange Cassidy.
I'm not gonna lie. I never really I only watched clips of him. I mean, I'll fucking clothesline. I'll give him the clothesline from hell.
This ain't gonna be quick because I got a lot to say about it.
Yeah, I think it's trash because it's just kind of like, I mean, but he's over. I don't know why, but he's over.
He's over because he does it. He's entertaining, but for me, I don't think his shtick is going to be over forever. I think if he doesn't evolve his character and evolve it somewhat quickly while he's still over doing what he's doing, I just think I think over time it's going to lose steam. But I am going to give it a pass for now.
Okay, so let's talk about this, Piers. I understand that this is the sports entertainment business. I understand that entertainment is a big aspect of it. But these are people who have trained to be wrestlers.
Mm-hmm.
These are people who are under contract to be professional wrestlers. This is for a company called AEW, All Elite Wrestling. The word entertainment's not even in their name. And that's a very mute point, but you have World Wrestling Entertainment. But it's All Elite Wrestling, not All Elite Entertainment. And you have guys like the Lucha Brothers, the Young Bucks, Cody, Jericho. Wrestling is the only aspect of professional sports where we will allow this kind of behavior. And my argument to that is this. Piers, have you ever seen an American football game, the NFL?
Yes.
So you understand what a quarterback is?
Yes.
Okay. If you were a fan of an NFL team and the quarterback walked onto the field, what is a quarterback's job?
Throw the ball.
Okay. If he just stood there with his hands in his pockets and never touched the ball and just watched them snap the ball and it flew by him, or he grabbed the ball and kicked it every time, you would be rioting in the streets for your favorite sports team to find a new quarterback, would you not?
Oh, absolutely.
So why is it okay that Orange Cassidy goes out there and put his hands in his pockets when he should be doing body slams, headlocks, wrist locks, submissions, all this other stuff? Why is it okay that he goes out there and does it? Why is it okay that he goes to an elite athlete or an elite performer like Chris Jericho and does those stupid little baby kicks? Why is it okay now, but it's not okay anywhere else?
See, that's the thing. I enjoy certain aspects of his character. The baby kicks is the part of the thing that I feel like it's kind of like Santino Marella when he did the fucking green snake thing like that. Like, to me, that was one of the most fucking horrible, like, nothing against Santino Marella, but that snake thing was one of the most fucking horrible points in wrestling history for me. And I think that the aspects of his gimmick, like being like the Fonz, like so laid back and cool and shit like that, that's pretty cool. But the kicks and stuff like that, for me, it doesn't really fly. It like the kicks, that sort of is suspending that disbelief for me. Like, I can't sit there and escape and go, this is a real simulated fight. Because if someone was standing there in a wrestling match with, say, you, Kevin, and they're doing light little kicks, you're going to punch them in the fucking throat. You know what I mean?
Here's another issue that I have. Name somebody that you think right now is just the total package. Can we say Keith Lee?
Yeah, or Randy Orton.
Okay, fair enough. So let's just say Keith Lee or Randy Orton, okay? Is it fair to say that there is somebody who is just like Keith Lee or Randy Orton, the same skill set, the same promo ability, the same everything? And is it fair to say that there's somebody like that right now busting their ass on the independent scene?
Oh, absolutely. There'd be many people busting their ass.
Is it fair to say that that person on the independent scene is just waiting for his big break or her big break?
Yeah.
Now, I want you to put this into context. You have a guy like Orange Cassidy who is holding a roster spot under a major contract for the second, well, I mean, depending on where you put New Japan and Impact, I'll say the second most popular wrestling promotion in America, probably even the world. And you have somebody holding a roster spot. And in the meantime, you got the next Keith Lee, Randy Orton, Shawn Michaels, Bret Hart, whoever, busting their ass on the independent scene, and they can't make it on TV to show their work because a guy like Orange Cassidy is getting TV time to sit there and put his fucking hands in his pockets. If you are okay with that, we have a whole nother conversation to get into.
Yeah, no, look, that sort of stuff, like I said, the kicks and the hands in the pockets in a match. If you're in a real fight and some guy is standing there with his hands in his pockets and you're having a fight, you're going to start fucking throwing hooks and fucking everything to knock this guy the fuck out.
I mean, he's doing like dives and shit over the top rope with his hands in his pockets. That
would be a hard thing to fucking do with your hands.
Okay, but another thing. One of the biggest arguments I hear from people all the time, because I have this talk with Piers, I have this talk with Hugs, I have this talk with Josh, I have this talk with AJ, I have this talk with so many people. And the biggest argument I get is, yeah, but when he goes, he can go. Okay.
I haven't seen it.
Let's go ahead and just knock this. I saw it on the independent scene. And everybody always says, oh yeah, but when he's ready to go, he can go. Okay. So you mean to tell me that on a national, not even national, worldwide platform, because you can get it in many different countries.
Yep.
Under a major contract for the second most popular promotion on worldwide television, that's not the time to go? Yep. Are you serious? If that's not the time to go, please tell me when is the time to go. Once a year at WrestleMania? Okay, thanks, Undertaker. See you next year. When is the time to go if not on a worldwide television platform?
Yeah, I mean, you definitely prove a point, dude. Like, it's you know, I definitely see your point on it, you know, and like I said, you know, when you're on that platform, when you're a professional wrestler, it's time to go when you walk through that fucking curtain, plain and simple.
Yeah, remember, but just got to remember, I mean, it's the booker too. I mean, if they're letting them do it and they think it's a great idea, I guess, you know.
Yeah, and it goes to a lot of people, and I'm a huge AEW mark, but I can point out their flaws, like Orange Cassidy's gimmick, like Matt Hardy teleporting through the arena. I cannot for a second get behind it. I cannot, I will not, I refuse to. It is 100% absolute trash, in my opinion. I cannot give him a pass. I will not give him a pass. I don't care what he does unless he decides to come out and start showing just how good he can work. Always going to be trash. But I will tell you this. When I went to an AEW live event, two biggest pops for the night. Jon Moxley, Orange Cassidy. For some fucking reason, Orange Cassidy.
He's over, bro. That's the thing. He's over. Majority of people are buying into it and dig everything he does. You know, and that's the thing. Like we've spoken before, I was watching a GCW card where he was involved in a 6-man ladder match, and he fucking like climbed to the ladder, laid down to take a spot. Literally, like that's what he did. He climbed up the ladder, was across the top ropes. He's climbed up, laid down on his back. Even the camera's looking at him, and he's like, look at the guy going, okay. Like, you know what I mean? Like, go, and I'm like, what the fuck's going on? And then the guy does a 450 and lands on it. I'm like, what?
That is exactly my point. That's my, and I know this is wrestling tragedy. We normally cover, you know, darker stuff, but in my opinion, this is the kind of shit that's killing the business. This is a tragedy to professional wrestling, which is why I suggest we do this show. And it's more fun, laid back. I expected a little bit more banter from Angel. I love it when he busts Pierce's balls. But the last thing I'll go into before I turn it over to somebody else and throw out their topics and give our opinions on it. Chris Jericho's Le Champion gimmick.
I think that's the most stupidest shit I've ever seen. I don't like it. Yeah,
So Angel says trash.
Le Champion.
Kevin says pass. Absolute 100% gold.
I like the list. I like the list better, but I know that's WWE's gimmick. But I like when you're on the list.
You know what? I liked it before he became the champion, where he was playing that grizzled vet. Like, I have to win this title. Like, you know what I mean? Like, having that thing of being like, he was still being a heel, but I just think the thing is, like, Chris Jericho has evolved his career every single time. Every single time. When he went to New Japan, he went in with a completely different gimmick. When he was in WWE, he's continually changed his look, his style, and he's evolved. And I consider Chris Jericho the Dave Grohl of professional wrestling. I've said it many times before. He's been cool for 30 years, and he's been relevant for 30 years. However,
who the hell is Dave Grohl?
That's what I was wondering. Who's Dave Grohl?
The lead singer of the Foo Fighters. Jesus, guys. But
who are the Foo Fighters?
Shut the fuck up. All right, so, but his late champion gimmick, I'm gonna have to say it was a pass to me. I didn't really think of much of it. Not pass, sorry, trash.
Nope, you already said pass. So
right.
Go ahead, Angel.
No, if you're gonna say something, go ahead. And I was just gonna bring one.
Oh no, I was just gonna turn it over him to throw out some of his ideas. But if you already have some ready, let's go.
Well, I was just thinking of one of the matches from back in the days, which I thought was,
if it was one of your matches, I'll go ahead and give my opinion.
It's absolutely a pass. The Silent Night, Bloody Night with Abyss and Reddick and Black Rain. When they had the Christmas tree wrapped up in barbed wire or whatever the shit was in TNA.
So just another gimmick match of a no disqualification, Extreme Rules.
Yeah, it was a business match, Silent Night, Bloody Night.
I'll go ahead and say this, man. All the Brooklyn street fight, the South Philly street fight, the Italian brawl, the Silent Night, Bloody Night, the Monster Ball, the Extreme Rules, all that other shit.
It's all the same thing.
Because it's the same. It is a no disqualification or no holds barred match. The only time I draw the line between the two is if you have a no DQ match versus a death match. Those are two completely different things. Even though they're both no rules, even though the ref is only there to count the 3 or call the submission, a no DQ match is you can use weapons. A death match is you better use weapons. Piers, you're the deathmatch guy. Would you say that's a fair assumption?
Okay. I'd say death matches are more like they're more ultra violent. They're more like it's a next level of a no holds barred match. You could essentially say.
And you have a great deathmatch wrestler coming on your show tonight.
Yes, I do. And that's the thing. It's the deathmatch wrestling for me, and I'm going to throw this out there: deathmatch wrestling, pass or trash. I'm sorry, Angel. You giving it a pass or a trash?
When done right.
It has to be done right.
But most of the time it is.
And the thing is that I've said time and time again, there is good deathmatch wrestling and there is bad deathmatch wrestling. Like there is good deathmatch workers and there's bad deathmatch workers. Because the thing is, sorry.
I think it comes down to who's in the match. When you have guys who think they want to be deathmatch wrestlers or think that, it's just, slam me on some mouse traps or light a table on fire, that's when it's trash. But when you have guys like Callahan and Tremont and even Zach and Raven Havoc and just even guys like Sabu or people like that, they can do a really good deathmatch because it's all about telling a story. Why are you choosing this weapon? Why are you choosing this move at this time? Why are you doing this here and why is that going here? It's not just let me reach under the ring, grab any weapon I think. Let me bring in a pane of glass. Let me bring in this or that. Each weapon has to have a reason why you chose that weapon. There was a death match not too long ago, and I'm not talking about Zach's, I'm talking about a different one where it was they covered the ring in Legos. And now to the everyday person, okay, it's Legos, what the fuck?
This
But
shit's hurt.
the two people that were in this match, they grew up together, and the thing they bonded over was building those castles and stuff out of Legos. It was building the Star Wars ships out of Legos. So when he put the Legos in the ring and he slammed them on them, it was a tribute to their past from where they came from. That little piece right there told me a story. It told me, hey, that this thing that we used to come together and built our friendship, I'm going to use it to hurt you. That's telling a story with a simple weapon like Legos. And yes, Legos fucking hurt, by the way.
But you know what's funny is that, and again, it wasn't a death match because back in the days they didn't call them death matches. It was the I Quit match between Tully Blanchard and Magnum TA, where it was in a steel cage, and you know it was a classic match. I mean, they told a story, they teased things. I mean, I think it was. I mean, again, it wasn't a death match because back then they didn't have those type of things. But I always look at that match as a classic storytelling match. And I mean, I know you have the Terry Funk and the Ric Flair I Quit match. I mean, there's tons of I Quit matches, but to me, that always stood out.
You remember the Eddie Guerrero shirt, "I'm Your Poppy"?
Yeah.
I would have loved for Magnum TA to wear that in that match, talking about Tessa.
Fuck. But you know what? The thing about deathmatch wrestling is like there's a lot of good deathmatch wrestlers out there, and as you mentioned earlier, you know the guys like Matt Tremont. You know, you've got guys like Joe Gacy that do it, Ricky Shane Page, Nick Gage. These guys can do it, and they tease it. They don't just start hacking each
Even
other
Moxley.
or slashing each other. And Moxley as well. You know,
Okay.
and that's
A trash
like
one is Joey Janela.
But you see, like even Combat Zone Wrestling and GCW, when they do death matches, they are the elite of deathmatch wrestling in the United States and pretty much the world. Like you obviously look at Japan over there with BJW. And the stuff that they do, it's next level crazy shit. Like these guys are taking bumps on some serious weaponry. Like, you know, I've seen them like doing like, you know, Coke cans cut in half and glued onto a fucking board and then go through those, you know what I mean? Those dude, that is just going to slice your skin open.
Okay, let me go off this real quick. I totally understand you guys loving the deathmatch scenario. Trust me, I respect that. Now,
It's
from my side of the fence, I've done matches. And I'm telling you straight shoot, when people go, Angel, you're going through a flaming table. God, fuck. Well, you're doing this match. God damn it. I hated them. I did my job. Don't get me wrong. If it was a table full of blades, I'll do it. If it's thumbtacks, I'll do it. If it's the Coke cans, I'll do it. But in my mind, I was just always like, fuck. The reason why I always said fuck, because in my mind is I trained as a wrestler to be a professional wrestler, not a garbage match. And then I look at the value of money-wise. I don't care what anybody says about the art of wrestling. At the end of the day, I'm looking at the financial gain of the thing. I am not a mark of those gimmick matches. Now, Masawa, great guy. But one day he was like, hey, if we ever wrestle, I would love to stick those fucking shish kebab skewers in your forehead. Yeah, in your forehead. And it would be a good match. Negative. I told her that I was like negative, not because I wouldn't do it. It's all about the green. It's all about the fucking Quan. And that's the thing about it is just that I respect the guys for doing it. But in the other aspect from the wrestling standpoint is like, that's all you're good at. That's all you know. Look at Man Pondo. He's a legend, but the guy works at a pizza shop delivering fucking pepperoni, which I'm still waiting to this day. But the fucking, at the end of the day, what do you have nothing to show for it besides scars and no money in the bank. You know, I mean, that's just how I look. I respect the matches. Do not get me wrong. But would I do it? You have to show me the money. You have to show me the cash, and then I'll make a consideration of doing those type of matches. You know,
I think when it comes to a death match, it just can't come out of nowhere. And I'm not a death match guy. Piers, that's clearly your lane. What I'm saying is, I don't think it should, like, the first match between two people should be a death match. The death match should be the cap of the feud.
Yeah. You have to build a story. You have to convince me that the Kingpin was versus New Jack, and it started wrestling, and it keeps building, and that finally, this is it, man. I'm tired of your shit. We're gonna take it to this. It gets to that level. Then I'll do it. I mean, you know what? I'll do it because it tells a story. You
But
know, and that's the end of
that's
the
the thing.
story.
Like, what about like deathmatch tournaments, right? So that you've got Tournament of Death and all these other types of deathmatch tournament, like Tournament of Survival, etc. IWA Mid South just had their King of the Deathmatch tournament not too long ago. What do you guys think of the tournaments? Because these guys are essentially going through three. If you go to the final, you're going through 3 death matches in a night, maybe 4.
Most people don't do that in a year.
Yeah. You know what I mean? So, like, imagine the trauma you have to put your body through to
It's
go
like
through
Angel. It's like Angel said. He said it better than I've ever heard it. You end up with all these scars and no money in the bank.
that. Yeah, and a lot of these guys don't make a great deal of money doing deathmatch wrestling. It's a love for doing it.
Yeah, I mean, like Necro Butcher, the greatest guy, man. I got pictures of him. We had a great time. Nicest guy I ever met. Man, I've been seeing matches where I saw his arm just, I mean, literally, I can't say I saw the bone to his fucking, like it was like right here in the bicep area. And it was, I think it was, he went through a pane of glass or something and it cut him really, really fucking deep. And I'm just like, the first thing that popped up, was it worth it? What was the payday? Fuck. And now he's like, and he's younger than me. And he looks like he's older than me.
He looks like he's about 80. Like when he turned up for his Hall of Fame induction for CCW, he looked like a 70 to 80-year-old man. Like he was like all fucked up.
He was born in 73. I was born in 72.
Yeah,
God, you're old.
good. Fuck. But sorry, Kev.
Oh no, I was going to go to another topic, but if you have
Yeah,
something else to say, please go ahead.
No, I'm good.
So let's go to a more recent one. And this is one that kind of took wrestling fans by storm. The love triangle between Lashley, Lana, and Rusev that later involved Liv Morgan. That whole storyline as a whole. What were your thoughts on that?
Bullshit. They turned the Russian monster or the Bulgarian monster into a cuck. Like you cuckolded fucking Rusev on national fucking television.
And now you've got them posting Instagram photos and Twitter posts, and she's on his live stream, and you just make him look like a fucking pussy.
Yeah.
Well,
like
Rusev,
this dude is getting slobbered down on national TV. Or his wife is getting slobbered down by Bobby Lashley on national TV. And like that's the shit Vince gets off on. Apparently Vince was the only one who really liked it, and that's why it stuck. But I just that whole thing was trash for me.
Just imagine Vince, let's make him a cuckold.
No, and that's the thing, man. I mean, that's why you don't have your wife in the business. I'm not saying that's a bad thing. It's just that when you put your wife in the business and then you have
How
to do
many
these
things
things.
has Lana got to fuck up though? She fucked that up. She's fucking up this whole thing with Natalya. She damn near Rusev said that he did not want to go back to wrestling. He was going to be a Twitch streamer for a living. She got him banned from Twitch.
Lana?
Yeah.
For wearing a bikini on a
partial
fucking
nudity.
Twitch.
They're still together, right?
Yes.
Yeah, there was just a fucking work with him and Lashley.
No, not that. But you saying she banned him on Twitch? I'm like, what?
No,
like
she got him banned by Twitch.
Oh, I thought she complained, and I'm like, what?
No.
Okay.
No, she was sitting on.
He was live streaming, and she come in, sat on his lap wearing a string bikini, and Twitch banned him for partial nudity.
And is he able to come back?
I think it was. I think it was a temporary ban.
It was like 2 days or something shit like that.
But the point is, if Twitch really wanted to, they could have banned him completely. Like, how much shit does Lana got to fuck up?
Man, you know what? WWE really fucking dropped the ball on that. They fired the wrong family member. Man, Rusev he's got all the fucking skills to be a top guy, hands down. He could be your main event player.
They should have never changed.
He's young enough to be there for another.
They should have never changed her from the Ravishing Russian. She should have stayed wearing the little suits with her hair pulled back and being his announcer. That was it.
I think she overdid it for me when I started seeing her on Total Divas, and I just started to see. I don't know if that. I don't know if that's a complete shoot, that show, or if it's a work or whatever, but like to me, like she just rubbed me the fucking wrong way when I saw her on that show. I was like, this is a fucking cow.
It's just funny how they
when-
took away the Russian gimmick, just like the Kofi Kingston gimmick, where he was a Jamaican, and like, wait a minute, what's confusing
Where's
me?
your accent, bro?
Where's your accent?
when they are having Lana tell Natalia, tell Paige, tell everybody that was on that show that even Carmella, that their promos are trash and hers are the best. Lana, you ain't done shit right in pro wrestling. Shut the hell up.
But she's telling that to Natalia. So, dude, you're going to tell someone who was in the fucking pro wrestling business before you were even fucking born, sweetheart?
The most winning woman in WWE history?
But the thing is with Natalia, seriously, she's forgotten more about fucking wrestling than Lana will ever fucking know.
Is that the picture you guys were talking about?
Yes.
Doesn't look bad.
She looks horrible.
No, but I'm just saying, like, I figured it would be more like a thong gimmick. I just don't see why. I mean, I guess there's a lot of kids on Twitch, and I guess
no. When she gets up and like when she entered the frame, and then when she left, like it's a thong bikini.
Oh, she's in a thong. Fuck, man. I don't know. Like, I'm definitely a trash for the for fucking Lana. Yeah.
What bothers me is what throws me for a loop is like there's certain wrestlers you always wonder like, oh, how's he still there? And then you think, well, Vince doesn't want to let him go because they don't want him to go AEW. But then you let Rusev go, who's really popular. But
Rusev Day was so over.
Yeah, and I just don't understand.
Do you know what Vince McMahon told Rusev about Rusev Day?
What's that?
That it sucked?
The audience are just making fun of you. And he goes, I'm over. They're chanting. He goes, no, that's just them mocking you.
What about the Kurt Angle you suck thing? Let's make it.
Exactly, but now it's a term of endearment. So you have to understand, it's not them mocking, because he was coming out and the crowd's going, Rusev Day, getting those chants. He got himself over, and he also asked Vince McMahon, okay, why? Okay, what's going on with my merchandise, blah, blah, blah. And he said, well, you sold out. And he said, that's a good thing. He goes, oh, no, the only reason you sold out is because we didn't order enough stock. You know what I mean? Like, Vince just wanted to bury this guy, it sounds like. From what is, you know what I mean? Like, he was told not to wrestle properly. You know what I mean? Like, he was told not to be so technical in the ring. Dude, like, he was controlled to another fucking level, this guy.
Rusev Day was a major pass. And that's not because I'm making fun of him. That's because it was great. What him and Aiden English were able to do was absolutely amazing. And when did Rusev Day come to an end? Who entered the picture? Lana. What did they start doing? Lana Day. Who started doing the ring announcing? Lana. When they took the microphone away from Aiden English and they stopped letting Rusev do what he wanted to do, they should have at least had a tag title run.
Yeah. No, absolutely.
They didn't have shit.
Because Vince wasn't into it, man. Vince wasn't into a lot of the stuff Rusev was doing, bro. And like from everything I've heard, Vince just shat on fucking Rusev, bro. You know, though I heard once there was a rumor that Vince, before Lana and Rusev got married, Vince wanted them to break up because he didn't think it was right that a guy that looked like Rusev should have a chick as hot as Lana. I don't know how accurate that would be. Like, that's from a real dark fucking sheet, bro. But like,
it's probably completely accurate.
It's fucking funny though, isn't it?
Jesus.
All right, let me ask you guys this one, right? So when Jon Moxley came into AEW, he had a match against the cleaner Kenny Omega, where they decided to introduce gimmicks into the match.
The unsanctioned match.
The unsanctioned match. Now, for those who have watched the match and for those who haven't watched the match, they used fake glass, which was sugar glass. The way that it was introduced into the match was fucking poor. And you could tell that it was sugar glass because when they got slammed on it, no one had their back sliced. Then they had a massive fucking trampoline with real barbed wire. So why would you use fake glass, real barbed wire?
Fake barbed wire.
No, it was real barbed wire, wasn't it? They used real barbed wire on
The barbed wire on the weapons was real. The barbed wire on the mattress was fake.
That's
Yeah.
that's what I meant. It's like, why would you
Rubber
use real
tips.
barbed wire here, and why would you not use? You know what I mean? Like that to me, that was a trash match. I have to
Because
say.
when you take when you take a barbed wire bat to the chest, it's less because you have clothing on. Some people have clothing on, and you could just work the ring or whatever on the mat. But again, I had matches with barbed wire. It was legit barbed wire, but I don't know what their thought process was. But I'm just assuming maybe they were cutting cost. I don't know.
As much as I want to go the other way on this, I have to give it what I'm about to give it because I love John Moxley. I love Kenny Omega. But as much as I love them, I cannot give it a pass. That match was trash. It was a spot fest. It was, look, here's the thing. If you don't want to use the real stuff, don't use it at all. Moxley would have taken a bump on Thumbtacks. Thumbtacks would have been fine. Look at the color that Ricky Starks just got off of Thumbtacks. Like, you could have been perfectly fine with Thumbtacks. You didn't have to use fake glass. You didn't have to use fake barbed wire. If you didn't want to use the real thing, just don't fucking use it.
Yeah. It can be seen through it, and that's the thing. It's like, even when I think Omega brought the glass in a black bag, it's like, what the fuck is that? And then he's just pouring it on, and you could tell it was sugar glass because of how white it was. You know what I mean? Like it just looked like powder. It looked like someone just taken a big fucking bag of talcum powder and poured it in the middle of the ring. And then they're dragging each other across it. And even when they're doing the gimmick with the broom and the barbed wire and sweeping his fucking whatever, dude, if you get swiped with barbed wire like that, you were going to bleed. There was no blood. You know what I mean? Like that match was a big time fucking fail for me. Like, no way in the world. Angel, what do you think, bro?
I never saw the match. I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you, but I mean, I agree with you 100% in regards to using sugar glass and rubber barbed wire tips. I mean, it takes away the essence of a death match type of thing.
But it wasn't even labeled that. It was just
no,
labeled.
I know, but I'm just looking at it like, I know it's not in the categories of a death match, but I always throw things like that as a death match. But I don't know. I think once you get to that level, they became bougie. Like, can we get sugar glass and some rubber tips, barbed wire? I'm a celebrity now. Back in the days, they didn't have that type of shit.
Moxley did some fucking insane shit.
I know, but at a point, it's like a comedian. When you first become a comedian, you're hungry. You do your own jokes. You're the funniest motherfucker on the planet. Then you get to that celebrity status, and then you got your own writers, and you're like, you're not as funny as you used to be because they say you lose the hunger. Yeah, kind of falls in that same category a little bit. I'm not saying that's what it is, but it's just that's what it looks like.
So, ladies and gentlemen, we just wanted to take a break from all the monotony and kind of give something light and playful, something that we can kick around. If you guys enjoy...
Wait, before we go, I have to do one match that I really enjoyed.
Oh, we weren't done because I had one other thing to show too.
Okay.
I was just thanking everybody for watching, and please let us know if you guys like this kind of stuff. If you like this game that we're playing, let us know in the comment section. We'll definitely do it again. And if you have anything that you want to submit for Trash or Pass, please let us know in the comment section, and it'll definitely be on the next episode. Angel's got one more. I've got one more. Maybe Pierce has another one, but I don't think his attention span quite goes that far. But Angel, let's go with what you had, and then I'll go with what I had.
My favorite match, I don't care if it's Pass or Trash, I enjoy it, is WrestleMania 6, Bad News Brown, Roddy Piper, the blackface match. When he's painted half. And the Michael Jackson. I love it. I always pop every time I see it, especially the rib that they fucking took away the solution to get the shit removed, so you had to go through the airport.
So Angel gives it a pass.
Oh yeah, I love it. It's one of my favorite.
I'm gonna go with Trash.
Yeah, I'm going Trash on that one as well. That was just racism. That was just racism. Trash. That was just racism at its finest. I
love it. I was entertained. I'm surprised you didn't pull out the fucking metal spoons and start playing the banjo at the same time.
Hell.
So Jesus. I want to try something. I just want to see how much you guys trust me on this. So most of the stuff that I've brought up was trash. I'm going to go and give my vote and say that this was absolute dog shit trash. Guys, I'm going to ask you to give a blind vote, and then I'm going to tell you what I'm talking about. I'm gonna need you to trust me on this. Just pick one, pass or trash. No, nobody's gonna do it. Piers, you're muted.
What'd you pick?
I said absolute dog shit trash.
I'll go pass just for shits and giggles.
So Piers says pass. Angel, just trust me on this, man. Give me a blind vote, pass or trash.
I'll say trash.
Angel's going to go with trash. And the thing I'm talking about is the Baldies.
That's funny.
Oh, that's a dickhead move and a half. That
And
is
Angel's the one that said trash. For those of you who don't know, which I'm sure you already know because we say it every episode. Angel, Mr. Kingpin Medina, King of the Streets, was the leader of the Baldies. And Angel, we thank you for everything you've done for the world of professional wrestling and being here with us. But yeah, man, you were trash.
It's because Vito LaGrassa was there in PN News. I think that's what happened.
So I got one more for you guys that I'd like you to know. Okay, so the dog kennel from Hell match with the Big Boss Man and Al Snow.
With the Chihuahua?
Yeah, no. What they had was the Hell in a Cell and the ring. So the wrestlers, Al Snow and Boss Man, were inside the ring with the cage over that. They had to climb out of that cage, fight through Hell in a Cell, but inside Hell in a Cell was supposed to be all these handlers with Alsatians, like that are just rabid dogs that are just going like go them hard. And what happened was the dogs were just like pissing on the floor, humping each other because they weren't trained animals. The dogs were freaking out because of being in that live event. The match itself, there was a lot to be desired, and I don't think it was Boss Man and Al Snow are two fantastic performers that you can't fault at all. I think it was just the situation I was in. I have to say it was trash.
Absolute trash.
I mean, the concept was good. If they had properly trained animals, it would have been fucking
But do you
amazing.
notice a lot of these things that we've done, pass or trash? Mostly everything that we said was trash. We've said the idea was great. It was the execution that made it trash.
Yeah, like that's just what
I think. What I think would have been a good match if they would have had Kofi Kingston, Shelton Benjamin, Bobby Lashley, the New Day, and they all get lined up with TVs on their shoulders, and they let them run and let the dogs chase them to see.
Ladies and gentlemen, we already know where that was going, and I just want to take one quick second to say that the words that are about to come out of Angel Medina's mouth are not supported by this show, and we do not support what he is about to say. However, he is entitled to his opinion. So, Angel.
And then he crosses the finish line, and then, what happened? That was in I'm Gonna Get You Sucker.
Jesus Christ. We've sunk into new fucking lows tonight, gentlemen.
I could get away with it.
I knew where he was going when he started naming the list of people, and they all had a very common denominator.
Yeah.
Hey, you said crime time. They're stealing TVs and stuff like that. What's the difference?
You know what? He's got a point. But ladies and gentlemen, this has been Pastor Trash with the cast of Wrestling with Tragedy, Kevin Rodriguez, Piers Austin, and the King of the Streets, the Kingpin, Angel Medina. Like I said earlier, guys, if you enjoy this kind of content, let us know in the comments. If you have any Pastor Trash topics you want us to talk about, let us know. We'll cover it in the next one. But with that, guys, this is going to wrap it up for us this week. We just want to take one more quick chance to mention our sponsors being A-Rock Designs. This is my wife's custom business where you can find all those cool wrestling cups and anything not wrestling related. We do hats, shirts, keychains, hoodies, just about anything you could think of. She makes it here at A-Rock Designs. So go to A-Rock Designs on Facebook and message her and place your orders. And if you can't find A-Rock Designs, message one of us and we'll point you in the right direction. The next sponsor we want to thank is the Cicadas Band for our entry music. Guys, you don't know how much you've helped us out with providing us with entry music that we can use on the show every single time without having copyright infringement laws. If you guys need any kind of music that you want to write a song to or an entrance music, maybe you're a wrestler out there on the independent scene and you're just really trying to find that new sound for you, hit up Piers Austin. He can get you in touch with his buddy Rafi Tomasian, who has a recording studio, or even get you in touch with Cicadas and even Cicadas who can write you a new song, and you guys can work it out there. But we definitely have ways to get you in touch with those guys. Feel free to message Piers Austin for that. And Piers and Angel's favorite sponsor.
What's up? Championship belt.
If you are in the market to start your belt collection or add to your belt collection, please message myself or Piers Austin. We can point you in the right direction. All orders do have to go through us, guys. That is just to keep everybody happy and provide you with the best customer service that we can. With that being said, guys, this is going to be it for this week. We will be back next week with a brand new episode of Wrestling with Tragedy. We've made it 23 episodes. We ain't going anywhere. We ain't planning on stopping anytime soon. Thank you to Vince Russo for putting us on the Vince Russo Network and a close affiliate to the Vince Russo brand. With that being said, guys, we will see you next week with the next episode of Wrestling with Tragedy.